Opioid and heroin addiction is a growing problem in every community, including Lake Orion. What may start out as a prescription can quickly evolve into an addiction. One concerned woman is doing what she can to help prevent death in the event of an overdose. On Sunday, September 20th, concerned parents gathered at Transformation Christ Church in Lake Orion for a special training workshop. Jeannie Richards showed a video and answered questions about a drug known as Naloxone, which can potentially save a person who is suffering from a drug overdose.
Naloxone has been around in the medical community for 40 years, but only last year Governor Snyder signed a law that allows families and friends of those that are at high risk for an opioid overdose to have and carry naloxone. And it comes in three forms. It's always been an injectable, a nasal, and now it's in like an EpiPen. Kaleo has formulated an FDA-approved Evizio pen is called.
3.5 years ago, Jeannie lost her son Brian to a drug addiction. The loss motivated her to form Brian's Hope, which stands for Heroin and Opiate Prevention and Education.
I had only been aware of his addiction problem at the time for such a small amount of time. I felt so helpless, and it took me a while to kind of pull together to even understand what had just happened. And I actually spent about a year in silence and research, and I emerged with the most incredible knowledge of how many people are senselessly losing their life nowadays to the disease of addiction.
Jeannie urges anyone who knows someone who is heavily medicated or addicted to painkillers to consider keeping a supply of naloxone on hand. Normally, the EpiPen injector costs $500 per use, but Brian's Hope is able to provide doses free of charge, thanks to a grant from the company that manufactures the drug. Jeannie will visit your community group to offer training, which is crucial.
It is important to have the proper training because you can't just run up on anybody that's passed out and think it's a opioid overdose and narc them. I mean, we don't want to see that happening. So we teach people what to look for, some steps to take, and then if in fact you do believe that it is an opioid overdose, we give you ways to begin the process to perhaps get air in them and put the naloxone in them if you have it while you're waiting for EMS to come.
Pastor Terry Rebert hosted the training at Transformation Christ Church and said that addiction can affect anyone who is prescribed painkillers.
I tried to do an intervention yesterday for a 40-year-old lady that was hooked on Vicodin, OxyContin, and was in denial. And in the intervention with mom and dad, uncle, best friend, she walked away. She wouldn't go into Sacred Heart that we had made reservations for. It is a tough battle. It destroys your mind. You don't think logically.
To schedule a visit from Jeannie Richards, go to bryanthope.org. To view the video that Jeannie shared with the group, you can visit prescribetoprevent.org or harmreduction.org.